Move the camera right up here. Yep. And along with that, tonight we will be gaming after the cast for a bit. We also have a podcast to record tonight and release, so we're going to get that done. If you have not checked out the YouTube video talking about the patch releasing tomorrow, there is a Blaze patch breakdown up on YouTube for patch 9.11, which drops tomorrow. Lots of changes, so feel free to check that out. I go through and break down all of those changes. It's about a 30-minute video. You can speed through some of it if you like, but I talk about the dev notes along with some of my thoughts. Make sure to go check that out as we hop into game number 1 of Do We Belong versus NC Red State. And while we're setting up here, I'm going to make sure we get the correct teams on the correct sides for the spectator here. So for the blue team, we have NC Red State. Looks like they had to remake. So we do not know what the bans were, which is just unfortunate. All right, but we do see Do We Belong lock in the Cthulhu, Khepri, Medusa, Odin, the Morgan. All really strong picks here. I've seen this type of comp before-ish when I was playing with Do We Belong. Odin has good lockdown, especially when you have this Cthulhu all. Khepri, you know, Kenny likes to lock that in. He has a Khepri 1 trick. Really looking for those revives. Dolo gets this. The Morgan's going to be able to transform into any of the gods on his team or the gods on the enemy teams. The enemy team does have Hades, Nemesis, Toth, Kurnanos, and Yamoja. We have seen the rise in Kurnanos, Hades, one of the highest win rate gods in the game. We've seen a lot at SPL, seen a lot in all of your casuals and in ranked, just popping off. Nemesis we haven't seen as much, but she is good in this comp. Going to be shredding down this Cthulhu along with this Kurnanos. And then this Toth Yamoja to kind of round it out. Yamoja, always a good pick. We're going to hop right into game number 1. And let's see how it goes. All right, so we are in playoffs. This is best of 3. And it is single elimination. If you lose here, you are out. So things to keep in mind as we are booting up here. We do have Hockey on his signature Cthulhu pick here. Dolo is again on this, the Morgan, which I believe he played last week too. But you know, we need to take a second here because there was a Khepri locked in. And y'all know what that means. If there's a Khepri locked in, it has to be played. So we're going to do it justice. We're going to take a second, and we're going to let this just play out. S-U-P-P-R-T, oh hey, I hope he's on my team. Khepri Bezos. S-U-P-P-R-T, oh hey, I hope he revives me. Khepri Bezos. Come on, Khepri, you can do it. Release OP and there's something to it. Met us, why? Shell us now. When I die, you're the rising dawn now. War flag and benevolence and gift. Other gods can get abducted, steal their kills, take their titan. Come on, Khepri, get him! You can just never go wrong with that, chat. You just never go wrong with it. It's just so good. All right, but we do see the signature going from red to yellow start here. I'm refusing to call it speed this game. And really, we see both solos start the Tainted Steel here. Looks like they're going to go into Warlocks immediately. Obviously, we do see a slight difference for the jungle. Odin going for this Bumbas. Nemesis going for this Eye of the Jungle here. And then for the duo lane, again, this is something common we've been seeing. We always see one support go Benevolence, the other one go Sentinels here. And this Benevolence is going to feel really good on this Umoja. I expect a Mail the Renewal get rushed here along with, oh my goodness, what's the name of the item I'm trying to think of? Fabulous Toops, there we go. Not the name that was in my head. There's going to be a lot of healing from this Umoja just passively happening. Dolo getting aggressive here in the mid lane. Jibbery getting pushed out a little bit on this Toth as Echo's around. He just goes in on the mid lane. We saw Nemesis a little bit late on this rotation. Was probably thinking about trying to get something off in solo. Wasn't able to fully make that happen. Echo now looking to get aggressive over in the duo lane, but has to turn around as Dolo is 1v2ing here in the mid. Instead, Echoes will go ahead and clear those oracles. Going to get that vision online early here, which is going to be huge. Just to have any type of jungle rotation focused out here. Markers is making the rotation over, decide to contest these oracles. Echoes will just drop them, even though Nemesis appeared to be walking away. And now the mid laners are duking out here. Dolo and Jibbery both low. Dolo can pay with his life with the early aggression here. Looks for the first blood, doesn't get it. Instead, it goes to Markers. Markers picks up the first blood on the Nemesis. That's going to be a huge thing, getting this Nemesis online early. Anything to accelerate your jungle is going to feel good in this comp. This Nemesis is going to want to look to get aggressive early on, you know, not only just the mid lane, but putting pressure on solo. This way to just shred Cthulhu down. The sooner that gets brought online, the better. What a great play by Marcus here. Over in the duo lane, we do see NC Red State have J-Bugger and Trey going ahead and getting the early scepter here, unless Kenny can interrupt it. No, it will go down in favor of NC Red State here. And now, just trekking back to the lane. Both level 3 feeling pretty good about it. Over in the solo's doing solo things. Fire and Icy is getting a nice little extra farm there off the bat camp minion. Which is going to be feeling pretty good. Hockey just slightly behind in level here. Doesn't have the clear that this Hades has. Hades just can clear so fast. I am looking forward to that nerf of his clear tomorrow. We'll see how that ends up panning out, though. Back over in the duo lane. Do we belong? Looking to get some of this farm back in their favor. But it's hard when you're into a Kernanos and Yamoja. Medusa does have good clear once it gets online. We're going to see that come on. Probably like level 5 or 6. Get a kind of aggression that Kernanos can play into. You know, Kernanos does have the Bramble Blast there. It's going to be feeling pretty good most of the game here. The good thing for this NC Red State comp is you have this Yamoja Kernanos that can lock things down, and this Hades. I mean, those three together can cause a lot of problems here. As J-Burger does get abducted by Kenny, but now Trey is getting aggressive. That's the beads out of Crimson. Dolo's made the rotation. Dolo looking for something. They know he's there. Now looking to get aggressive on this Kernanos. There's the beads. They're going to have to get somebody out of this. There's the shell. If Kenny can get an abduct, no, it just ends up falling off the mark. Just a strange gank that just doesn't pay off, unfortunately. Now Dolo is level 5. Could look to get aggressive here with the ultimate. But right now, they're triple splitting farm. This is only hurting them. And now Markers comes over, and Markers is looking for blood. Chasing down Crimson. Crimson has to dash away. Crimson trying to get away. But there comes the Hades ultimate out of Dolo to slow it down. But now Dolo's the one in trouble. Very low here. I don't know if Kenny's going to be able to save him. No, Markers picks up a second kill. And there's a third. But this one will go in favor of Trey. And NC Red State is off to a fast start here. 1,700 gold ahead at 4 minutes is going to be feeling very good. Not insurmountable for Do We Belong, but does feel good if you're NC Red State to get this comp going quick. Your dual lane's online, so is your jungler, and now Markers looking for the red invade. This is going to be huge for them if they can get this. Now, Echoes isn't wanting to let this go for free, but Markers does now confirm the red buff invade. Was actually being backed up there by Trey and J-Bugger just in case. But look at the level leads right now. The dual lane for NC Red State and the mid laner are a full level ahead. And when your ultimates are online earlier, that's just going to be better for the team fights. Jibbery here, going in, coming back to lane, clearing it out. Dolo does hit 6 here. It's going to be feeling, you know, pretty comparable to Jibbery. Has got some good early rotations in. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to capitalize off of them. But now we see, you know, Devos Gauntlet's already online for Trey on this Kernanos, already stacking. And that's ahead of Crimson here. And when you're an ADC that's stacking ahead of time, that is massive. Especially when you're both in lane. We do see Gauntlet Thieves for both supports. We do see the Warlock Staffs for the solo laners. Nemesis does pick up this Golden Blade just to help with the clear, which is going to be needed. Odin electing to go for this Crusher here, looking for that extra dot damage. I'm curious about that pickup over Brawlers or going for something like the Jotuns. Echo's in trouble here, getting chased by the Nemesis. Has to drop the cage. Is able to be able to walk away. Kefri comes over. Kenny gets a nice root there, but isn't having anything else to follow up with. They do have to be careful here. Do We Belong is in a rough spot if Fire and Icy does rotate over. Fortunately, steps a little bit out of lane, but then goes right back to farming here. Hockey does have a little bit of a lead now, which has to feel pretty good. But the one thing we got to watch out for as Dolo makes another rotation over here to dual lane, looking for this dual lane pressure, is the fact that Crimson just got Devos online, is 23 stacks behind a Trey. Great stun there. Then the beads by Trey. They should confirm the kill here. Dolo will pick it up. Again, transforming into this Hades and picking up the kill. It's going to feel pretty good when you're the Morgan if you can make that gank happen. The one thing they have to worry about is, can Gibbery go ahead and, utilize this to get extra farm going? Look at where Markers is. Markers coming in from behind. You know he's there. Echoes gets a good stun off. The dash is good by Crimson, but now the Rivers Rebukes comes through, trying to separate part of the fight, and they are doing just that. Markers able just to kind of walk away there. And this purple buff is coming up in the nearish future for Do We Belong. Markers was looking to try to get a cheeky play there onto Dolo. Trey has made the way back. Gibbery able to drop their own red buff here. It's going to be feeling pretty good. Kenny's farming away, man. Kenny has been here on this Kepri, making sure the waves don't push in the mid lane. Just doing everything he can just to kind of hold everything there as it belongs. Now trying to confirm their own buffs here. Fire and Icy looking to possibly get aggressive over this blue buff. Oh no, Hockey ults for it, but it doesn't matter. Fire and Icy confirms it with that last auto. Just a cheeky play there to get that blue buff, and that's going to hurt this time around for Hockey, who really wanted that to just sustain the farm in lane. On this Cthulhu, about 25 seconds until his teleport's up. Now Fire and Icy going for his own blue buff will confirm it. And so far, everything has just been in favor of NC Red State here. They've been really doing a good job of counteracting the pressure on the map and then capitalizing on those disadvantages. As I move away from Hockey and he gets ganked by Markers here. Echo's trying to turn around to something. Not going to be able to. Kenny's over here just in case. That's another kill in favor of NC Red State. Great gank here by Markers. Markers really putting work in on this Nemesis. 100% kill participation thus far. And I do have to say, if I'm Do We Belong, I want to know where this jungler is at all times. Absolutely off to a fantastic start. Now is the Crusher online, looking to really just get that clear going. Wind Demon is the next item I think Kurnos will be looking for here. Trey getting that early stacked Devos Gauntlet almost online. Crimson's still about 20 stacks behind. Kenny makes the way over, try to help over in the dual lane, but now Jay Bugger is over here. Markers is on the way too. Crimson does have to be careful there. There's the Bramble Blast. There's the Slice and Dice. Kenny with the amazing Scarab's Blessing there saves the life of his ADC and pulls him all the way back to the tower after being halfway down the lane. Do We Belong is making the rotation here. Echoes is here. Dolo is here, but will it be enough? The piggies are on the loose. Trey is running it down, looking for Dolo here. Dolo's going to ult into the Hades and dash away. Gibbery was there, was looking just to charge up that ultimate and fire away, but this should be a Gold Fury pool for NC Red State. They're not going for it. Surprisingly enough, they're going to go and deal with this Trebuchet in the mid. But I do think they had enough pressure to pull it if they wanted to. I thought with their pathing they were going to consider it. Instead, they decided to go ahead and get this Trebuchet off the map. Probably the better idea. We do see Hades going into some lifesteal while, this Cthulhu now building this Mana Core spikes. The Morgan does have Doom Orb online, looking to get that extra movement speed online for Dolo here. And now we see both ADCs going into crit here. Crimson a little bit ahead of that, but I don't know for how much longer. Trey hasn't backed in a while. I think when Trey backs, it should be probably a full Wind Demon at this point. Echoes and Dolo and Kenny all looking for a kill. They pick up Gibbery. What a great turnaround there for them. grabbing a kill in the mid lane, counteracting that pressure that was over in the left-hand side. Markers and J-Bugger looking to make something happen here, trying to get this far, you know, this wave dealt with in the mid lane. We'll see where they go after that. Is it a 3-man grouping now for Pyromancer, possibly? No, they don't go for it. Instead, they decide to go for Scorpion. Really surprising not to see Dewey Belong go in there. I wonder if they saw the Hades and just decided to back off. It's actually going to be Shadow Steel Shuriken online here for Trey on this Kernanos first. Deciding to let the Windy maybe the second item here. Wants to counteract that healing as much as possible. Heart Ward is online for Kenny. Looking to counter out this magical damage. Curious to see if that's the item he decides to get a glyph on. That will be to be determined as Echo goes ahead and finish out the Jotun's Wrath here. Hades now with this Bancroft's online, which will later become a Bancroft's Claw. This is where Hades starts to become a little bit irritating to deal with, be able to get health shields and the whole 9 off. Kenny a little bit off the mark there with the Abduct. Ektos blinks in, gets a great cage off. They're looking for Gibbery, but that's a great job by J-Bugger there to counteract that. Dolo ults into the Hades. But look at this, they're just living through it. Gibbery lived so long there. Now Fire and Icy makes the rotation. He decides to do the Pillar of Agony. And now Dolo's in trouble. Dolo will fall here. And now NC Red State is looking for more. It's a 1-for-1. But here comes Hockey. Descent into Madness. But is that going to be enough as Trey comes through looking to make them turn away and oink their way home? Hockey getting low, getting shredded by Markers here. Trey and Markers doing work. There's 1. There's 2. And now this is going to be a tier 1 tower if they want it. But instead it looks like they're going to go for Gold Fury. Echoes and Crimson have no business showing face there, as NC Red State cleans up that fight and changes it from a 1-to-1 for a 3-for-1 and a Gold Fury. And this is a huge momentum swing in their favor. They already had the advantage, but you're talking about almost a 5,000 gold lead at 13 minutes. And at some point, we have to decide, where are we going to focus things out? What is the next plan of action? To counteracting Markers. Markers has been everywhere on this map. I mean, you need wards on this man. So I just think at this point, Dewey Belong has to ask themselves, how do they counteract Markers? Markers has just been doing a ton of work here. And a Pyromancer goes down in their favor now. Both neutral objectives are in favor of NC Red State. And they are on a speed run right now. 14 minutes in the game, and everybody is above level 12. And that's feeling pretty good. You have a 2-level lead in solo. You know, jungle and mid are even, but a 2-level lead in support and a level lead in ADC. This lead is not just gold. It is experience too. And it's not from lack of trying. Dewey Belong have tried to gank this dual lane. They have tried to make these little ganks happen. And they just haven't been able to fully get it done. Now we see a 3-man grouping coming into the dual lane. I think they were caught out on a ward. Trey just walks back to tower and stands there. Dewey Belong just wasting their time. Red buff is being looked at by Markers, and Gibbery here isn't going to be able to have anything happen to it. Kenny does get a ward over there, though. We'll know when it comes back up. We'll know when they walk up to it and when they're pathing through that little area. But other than that, back to farming. We do see Fabulous Hoops online for this Yemoja. Looks to be going into a Pridwin. I'm really surprised not to see the male renewal already. It is a bit surprising here. Different directions for the support builds. We see a Spear of the Magus online for this Toth. It's going to be feeling pretty good. Looks like Mirrodin's probably going to be the next option, as a Hydra's is online now for Markers on this Nemesis. And I can tell you, that Nemesis is going to be swinging here soon. Kenny gets the Abduct on the Markers, but then boom, there comes the heal. And Dewey Belong's going to need some anti-heal on lawn sooner rather than later. They do have the Tan Steel, and they do have the Shadow Steel Shuriken, but they need a Divine. They need a Pestilence. They need a Brawler's Beat Stick. And here it comes now. NC Red State getting crazy aggressive here. Dolo, Odin's out. Odin Cage is going to save his life, but Kenny is low. Scares Blessing onto Echoes. They're looking to try to save this tower. Slice Dice comes through, almost takes out Kenny. Kenny is able to live and walk away. Echoes now in trouble into this tier 1 tower as Hockey makes the rotation over, looking to try to get aggressive out here. But what is there for him to take? Fire and Icy looks like to be the one to fall. Crimson does finish off that kill. Now Markers is in trouble. Can they get the shutdown? Shutdown is good for Hockey here. Hockey is now getting shredded by Trey, though. And Trey is not afraid of Crimson, Hockey, and Echo just running at them with this Yamoja's healing. It's going to be feeling pretty good. Now NC Red State is backing off. But at no point did they even act like they were under attack. They stayed and fought for so long that I'm really surprised. I mean, if they backed off just a little bit there and waited to counter-engage, they had a lot that they could have been able to do. But there's the teleport by Hockey. Hockey getting aggressive again here under the tier 1 tower, taking shots away. That's the beads by Gibbery. They're looking for J-Bugger, but J-Bugger, the Riptide away. Anti-heal onto J-Bugger. It's going to be feeling pretty good here, getting them to back off. But Gibbery is hanging around. There are 5 people in the mid lane, and this Toth is standing here unfazed. Says, please jump into my tower. Hoping that, you know, they walk in and then Trey just Bramble Blast them, I guess. I don't know. But now the aggression on the red buff is happening. This is the steal that Do We Belong looked for. This is the swing that they wanted. Down nearly 7,000 gold, now only down 5,000. Do We Belong is getting active on the map here. Looking to pressure this comp. Looking to turn things back into their favor and say, hey, you're going to play how we want you to play, not what you've been doing. But they have to get one of these neutral objectives. That's what needs to happen here. Wind Demon online for Travis Kurnos now. Really good amount of crit going on. Looks like be going probably into an Xe next. Crimson hasn't finished out the next item. Going to be a little bit behind on that crit train. Going to be feeling it in this boxing match here. Pridwin finally online for J-Bugger, who is 0-6. The perfect support stat line. Mirrodin finally online for Gibber here. Kenny now in trouble. Focused out. Goes to dash away, but lands the Imduck on Markers. Now it's the Scares Blessing himself, but he's going to fall here with no help. No one responding to this. They can't make it in time. Oh no. Unfortunate. Now it opened up a play for Primal Fury here. I don't know if anybody from Do We Belong is going to step up, and if they do, it might be too late. Hockey is teleporting in. Teleports in as the Gold Fury falls. Looking to get aggressive here. Crimson getting focused out by Markers here. He's going to have to walk away. I don't know if he's going to make it away. Descent into Madness is out now for Hockey. Gibbery looks to be the target. Hockey 1v3 and said, I don't care. I'm going to fight all of you. Dolo ulting into this Cthulhu, and we're going to see another Descent into Madness. No, the pigs are come through. There's the beads. A lot used by Dolo here, and Dolo is going to fall. Fire and Icy pick up the kill, and this is huge for NC Red State. They get the Gold Fury. They get up 2 kills off the back side of it, and now they are running across the map looking for another neutral objective here. Is it going to be Pyro or is it going to be Fire is the question. They have enough time to pull Fire if they want to, with really no need to worry. Hockey's ult is down. I believe Kenny's ult should be nearing coming back up if he makes it over there, but it's still going to be, 15 seconds off, if not more. Fire Giant getting absolutely melted away here. And can they get the steal? That's the question. Hockey dives in, but no, NC Red State not only confirms it, but they're going to get a kill off the back end as Echoes is barely alive, ends up falling down. Markers chasing out Hockey here, doesn't care about the level disparity, is just running him down with this Nemesis. Man, if this Nem had kin size, it might be another story. Kenny trying to get away. Brambles hit him, slow him down a little bit. Slice and Dice comes through. There's the Scarab's Blessing again. And they're going to confirm another kill onto Kenny, even though Dolo turns around the corner. There's the Pillar of Agony. Boom! Crimson tries to ult and turn him to stone, but instead, his teammate will die. It's a ton of aggression by NC Red State here. They now have the Fire Giant. They're looking for more. The question is, are they going to back? Are they going to push this wave and look for something? If I had to guess, they should go for mid after stripping some farm, but they might just fully go grab their gold and call it a day. And they are. They're grabbing another neutral objective. That's Pyromancer going in their favor. And so far, every objective has went the way of NC Red State, and that is a scary time if you're on the opposing side. Tier 1 tower will now fall, and it looks like now will be the time to back and reset, get those items that you're wanting, and then set up for the left side of the map. If I had to guess, that's what I would be doing. Compassion now bought by the Emoja. Ferocious Executioner online for Trey on this Kernanos. Erendite for markers. I mean, you're talking about just a lot of item spikes here that are going to be feeling very, very good into a team that is already ahead. And you're looking at Do We Belong, and they've had some really good fights. They had some great turnarounds here. But off those turnarounds, NC Red State's been able to adapt and turn things back to their favor. See Crimson going into that Deathbringer and said, hey, I don't really care about the XE right now. I need to get this crit online. Spectral for Kenny, Karen's coin for Dolo, and then a Winged Blade for Odin, and a Breastplate of Valor for Hockey on this Cthulhu. Just kind of finalizing some of these builds and getting things online. Looks like Hockey might be going into the Pestilence to go along with that Tainted Steel. It's going to be feeling pretty good here, but still they are lacking a Brawlers. They are lacking a Divine Ruin. I mean, they need it. This Yamoja is pumping out healing. Look at the Hades getting free healing. Kernanos getting healing. I mean, like, it's just going to become a problem the later this goes. And I don't know how much later it's going to go. They're grouping now as 5. NC Red State are looking to try to strip away these tier 2 towers and possibly find a Phoenix before this Fire Giant runs out. Now the 5-man grouping in mid, and they say, hey, we don't care about the minions. We just want your tower, please. Riptide good on a Dolo. That's his beads, but he's going to pay the price. He will fall here. Fire and Icy takes him off the map, and that is a pick that NC Red State needed to open up just more of the map to them. They now run to the right side. They're going to go for a solo side tier 2 here. The only good thing Do We Belong has going right now is they have a Tread pushing the left side that will slow down waves from getting them to a Phoenix. But I don't think NC Red State cares. They're looking to possibly go for this right side Phoenix. Instead, it looks like they will back off. They're going to strip away more farm. And if I had to guess, they're going to back in about 10 to 15 seconds and go for Gold Fury. Or they might just run straight for Gold Fury. I'm not sure which they're going to do. But Gold Fury is going to be on the docket as it is an Oni Fury that is going to push these Oni waves towards these Phoenixes and cause an absolute problem for Do We Belong. We're now grouped as 4. Yeah, NC Red State says, man, forget items. We're running straight there. And here it is, 13,000 gold ahead. They're now looking for an Oni Fury. Every single objective has so far went their way. Can they confirm another one? And they will, uncontested. This Oni Fury now goes their way. Should be seeing some backs go off here pretty soon. We see one for J-Bugger. Looks like Trey and the rest are going to clear this Trebuchet and get the purple buff. Nope, Trey's just going to go ahead and back. They're going to leave the clearing 2 markers on this Nemesis. And here we should see our 6 item spikes coming online here. Slowly but surely. Curious to see what Gibbery is going at last item on this Toth so far. We do see, you know, Shells, Blinks online here. Remember, you cannot buy Beads Aegis in comp right now. And if you do have them, they cannot be activated at the same time. That is a actual automatic forfeit for the team that does do that if it happens. And along with that, can also cause you to be removed from the league for a substantial amount of time. This is a comp ban that we've seen in SPL. Basically, if you Aegis and then you Beads, you can fully use your kit while immune, which is insane. NC Red State are prepping for a Fire Giant pull here, and the question is, are they going to get contested? And they are. Kenny walking up, Hockey walking up, looking to try to make a position here. But if I had to guess, Fire and Icy, as Hockey loops around behind. Echoes gets a great all here, but it's going to be countered by a River's Rebuke. Descent into Madness is here, but Hockey just immediately gets shredded down. Oh no. Gibbery trying to do something, but Dolo looks to ult in and instead gets burned by the Pillars of Agony plus Trey with this crit. And now Do We Belong? They cannot step forward any longer. If one more person falls, it probably spills the end of the game. Fire and Icy are getting aggressive here. Fire Giant will go their way for free. Are they going to pick up Echoes too? That's the question. Can they confirm game number 1 in their first playoff week here? And it looks like they might. Echoes very low here. It looks like he might actually get away. The double dash by the Nemesis is going to force the blink of Echoes, and now it's 2 Phoenixes under siege here, one by minions in mid, and the right side by the team themselves. Kenny drops a ward right there at the Phoenix line. But look at this, you know, chunking away as NC Red State. The right side Phoenix will fall. The mid Phoenix is under siege. Echoes tries to counteract it with Crimson, but can they do it? You hear that ult charge, that's a scary time. Anytime you hear that chill, you can be fired at any time like a shotgun and blow them away. And here it is, Fire and Icy getting aggressive. J-Bugger is there too. Another Phoenix will fall for NC Red State. Here comes the piggies. It doesn't land on anybody. Gibbery takes out Crimson. Echo is now under attack. Echo trying to do something here, trying to zone him out. There is the cage, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. Kenny now getting chased out in the Titan room, will escape, but at what cost? Titan is absolutely under siege here, and Titan will fall for game number 1 in NC Red State's favor. All right, chat. Let's talk about a few things. Okay, so game number 1. I like everything that Hockey has going on for this build. I think it's good. I think he's working on a pesty here, trying to get more anti-heal online. Did everything he could, but when you get shredded by Nem and then they have crit, I mean, you're just going to get blown up. That's what ended up happening there. Dolo on the Morgan. You know, Morgan wants cooldown. She wants, like, this tree a lot, and I understand that. I think Divine probably helps out a little bit. But I understand why you went this route. Echoes, I would have liked to seen a Brawlers instead of the Crusher, I think. Other than that, I do like the build. The initiations by Echoes with these cages and stuff was actually very good. Kenny, you know, pretty standard and good support build. And then this is the part of the meta build right now for carry for Crimson. So overall, pretty good. On this side for NC Red State, I mean, this Hades build, it's insane. It makes it super survivable. Nemesis, just chunking. You have the Golden Blade for the clear. You have the Crusher for the clear and the dot. The Hydras into Erendite. No one's escaping you. I'm assuming this might have been Bloodforge. If that happens, you're not killing that Nemesis. You know, typical ADC build. Can we talk about this? Can we talk? I'm highlighting this. I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. This is an insane stat line for a support. 0-16. No shot, dude. MVP of the set. Like, I mean, that is insane. I don't know J-Bugger, but, like, holy crap, dude. That's insane. 0-0-16. I mean, I'm mind-boggled. I wonder how much healing. Look how much player healing. I said this at the beginning of the match. It's an easy... I think I said 13K. I mean, 14,293. You can't ask for more than that, dude. Look at look at this ward coverage. 13. This is insane. This is insane. It mitigated more damage than anybody else. I mean, just really, really popping off here. NC Red State's game number 1. All right, we're going to hop right into game number 2. Let me find the code, chat. Sorry, I had DMs I was responding to, and I want to make sure I had the right things pulled up for the cast. All right, 1, 2, 7, 6, 2, 3, 7, 8, 6, 5. Okay, so we do have a side change here, so we're going to get that put in for you guys real quick. And see Red State. And then we have Do We Belong? And they're up by 1. All right, we're going to get bans this time. Let's go, bans! We like bans. Bans are fun. All right. See the Hades ban here by Do We Belong. Not surprised after how Fire and Icy played that. Again, if you're not banning Hades right now, I'm not even sure the patch tomorrow is going to nerf Hades enough. But I mean, we're talking about a top pick, top ban, very high win rate god. Their next 2 bans are going to be Yu Huang and Kurnanos. They don't want to see that again. The bans for NC Red State end up being Cupid, Thor, Yamoja, all fantastic bans. You don't want to... Crimson, it plays Cupid a lot. Not surprised by that ban. Cupid's also just very good. Thor is crazy. And Yamoja, after that game 1, you don't want to give it over to Do We Belong because you know how good it was for you, and it would be a comparable first pick. We see Hockey go with the Guan Yu here. Guan Yu is a top pick solo laner right now. Just very easy to play, very good. It looks like we're going to see a Khepri locked in here for NC Red State, which would actually be huge, taking it away from Kenny. And we'll see what they decide to log in here. I think it's going to be... They're going to go for the Toth again. Not surprised by this. Toth played pretty well that last game. I wouldn't say it was like super amazing, but I do think Gibbery did their job. All right, they got off good damage. They kept out the poke. They scared people away with the ultimate charge. Overall, I think Gibbery did their job, and that's what really matters. That's what you want out of the Toth. Surprised to see it picked up as a second pick here. I think there are better mid laners, but not just that. I think Toth is a very easy god to draft against, so I'm curious to see what Do We Belong come up with if you want to be able to dive the Toth and force out a lot of his kit. Their solution so far is an Atlas Apollo. A little bit surprised to see the Apollo here. Apollo is good, though. I played him the other night, had a blast for my A to Z challenge. I will be uploading those videos onto YouTube this week. Probably tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm a little bit behind because I was doing stuff for the wifey's birthday, and tomorrow I'm doing more things for the wifey's birthday and buying her Taylor Swift tickets, which will be a fun time. So a little bit behind on the YouTube uploads. This will also be on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you like, suggestions. Love to hear about it. But we do have a Neja as the last pickup here in the first phase of picks. That's very interesting. Neja been highly coveted in comp play, but hasn't seen a lot of success. But what I do like about this Neja pick is that it sets up a lot. You do the ultimate, you take them up into the Windfire wheels, and you say, hey, when you come back down, a Totho's going to hit you in the face. And I think that's huge here. The first bans here for NC Red State coming into the second phase of bans is going to be the Ratatasker. Just not wanting to deal with that. Ratatasker, great at diving, great at killing a Toth. So that's one thing you want to get off the table. They decide to ban Ishtar on the Do We Belong side. Ishtar has been seeing a lot of play in mid and carry in the SPL. So not too surprised to see that banned away. And Daji is going to be the final ban here for NC Red State. I actually do like this a lot. I think Daji's cracked. She is very good. She burns beads. Also great at diving a Toth. Great at dealing with a Neja. Great at setting up, Khepri getting pulled in or having to use ultimate. Overall, just a great pick here to ban away. And then the last ban here is going to be the King Arthur for Do We Belong. And this leads NC Red State into picking up the Cthulhu, which I think is going to be a good pick for them. Does a great job putting anti-heal done with the Tainted Steel into Guan Yu. Is just really good when you have a Khepri that can do the revive. Sets up a lot of good things for the Neja on the Toth. Overall, just a very good pick here for NC Red States. Just fixed their comp very well. And then we see Athena, Medusa are the picks that come through for Do We Belong. This is going to be an Athena jungle from the looks of it, unless it's Athena solo Guan Yu jungle. And then we have Medusa, which I'm assuming probably going to be... I think Crimson's playing Medusa and Dolo's playing Apollo, if I had to guess. Just from what I know about them. We'll have to see in a second if they trade or not. But the double AC comp coming out here for Do We Belong could be very interesting. And then we see Oh, NC State Red. I had the name wrong because it was sent to me wrong. Well, let's go fix that. Okay, I have an admission to you all. I screwed it up. I read it wrong. It wasn't sent to me wrong. I just realized I'm dumb and can't read. My dyslexia came out, and I am upset. I'm upset, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe I screwed that up. I swear I read NC Red State. Dude, I'm dumb. It is Crimson on Medusa and Apollo for Dolo here. If anybody from NC State Red is watching, I apologize for the confusion there. That is my bad. We do see Hoi Yi as the last lock in here. And Hoi Yi is going to frag in this comp, bro. Like, you have a Neja, you have the Cthulhu for the lockdown, and a Kepri for a duck. This Hoi Yi is going to pop off, if I had to guess. But welcome Albion Giants League into the chat, which is Majin. What up, Majin? What up, Gilly? Vio, I didn't reply to you during the game last game. So what's up, Vio? After we finish out this cast, we will hop into some games. You can always come check those out over on the channel. You can join in on those games over in the Discord, or just, ping me. Always welcome. Let's hop into game number 2. NC State Red is up 1 game over Do We Belong in the playoffs. My personal favorite thing to say is playoffs? Also, speaking of... okay, I'm going to take a side tangent here. The Eagles lost tonight, okay? They got beat by the Commanders. That feels good. Feels good to be a Vikings fan. That's what I know. All right, let's get this set up, though. Perfect. That's good. That's good. Wow, that worked out really nice. I called that game, Majin, too. I was talking about it today with one of my students. But we do see the Athena jungle here. I'm curious to see how this works out here. I like the idea Do We Belong is going for here, looking to use the taunt and, looking to use the horse, get the lockdown. You have really good CC around the Atlas, the Athena, and the Guan Yu. The question is, how is that going to work in a team fight? What is it like for the setup? And who's diving, who's peeling for the back line? And I think that gets very interesting for their team comp. It does make me worried. If the comms aren't perfect, things could go very haywire here. I do like... NC State Red has a lot going for them. You have Cthulhu Descent into Madness is going to cause a lot of problems for Do We Belong. You have... just a giant AoE-CC. You have Neja with the sash and the Windfire wheels is going to be problematic because whoever gets dropped down is eating a Tothal, guaranteed. You have, Gibber on the Toth, played it well last game. You have J-Bugger on this Kepri. I only can imagine it's going to get played well after going 0-0-16 game 1 on Yamoja. And then if he abducts into Trey's damage, it's over, dude. So NC State Red is going to be looking for a lot of early aggression here. The player to watch this game is going to be Markers again. Just got that early aggression last game. Looked for a lot of plays early and just manifested the win off of it. So watch out for Markers and J-Bugger here. Just both played outstanding last game. Not that anybody on NC State Red played poorly, but they popped off specifically. But Kenny and Crimson do have the early aggression here. That's going to be pretty typical for this type of lane. Dolo looking to fight early with Gibbery on this Apollo into the Toth. And gets very good poke. Really, Gibbery just eating a ton of damage here. Over in the solo side, Hockey is eating a ton of damage under half health here. Could be... Oh, Dolo picks up the first blood at the tower. Gibbery stepped forward and got booped by Dolo. Dolo just popping off here early on. There's the sash off the mark for Markers. Hockey now going to look to, clear the way, get a little bit of aggression on Fire and Icy. Does have to be careful here as Hockey went for the Warriors access game around. Looks to be going straight into either Mana Core Spikes or Fabless Tubes. Fire and Icy does have that Tainted Steel looking to shut down that healing of Hockey. Over on the duo side, though, Dolo made the rotation looking for the gank. They're trying to find Trey here. The grab off the mark as the leap was just absolutely magnificent. there by Trey. Trey gets out and avoids a gank, just like in game number 1. Really just wasting the time there of Dolo, who rotates over to try to make something happen in that duo lane. But now, the question is Dolo going to get caught out here? Markers and Gibbery are on this XP camp. And no, they don't even decide to do anything crazy and go in on him. Instead, they just say, hey, we're going to farm, and then Gibbery goes straight to lane. Dolo getting aggressive here is going to get attacked by minions. The question is Gibbery going to get out? Looking just to run around in circles, trying to set up things for Markers. The sash is good. Can the damage follow up? Here comes the Athena Echoes, is looking to do something, but will it save Dolo in time? If there's a ring toss, it's going to end his life. And no, it's not there. There's nothing there. Echoes now in the mid lane, trying to do something. Already got the good peel set up for his mid laner. And now just has to farm away this wave, just has to play it calm. And we'll do so. XP is low. Trey and J-Bugger are getting looked at here again. Early aggression here by Dewey Long has been playing it out very, very well this time around. But you're talking about once Trey hits like level 6 or 7, this, doesn't turn into the favor of Dewey Long as much. Kenny grabs him, picks him up, throws him back. Doesn't matter. Trey just leaps out. Great dash in by Crimson. Good damage onto J-Bugger. They're looking to get this damage off. Can they confirm a kill with it? And the answer is no. The Abduct gets him out. And if you're J-Bugger, you're feeling pretty good about that. Went Undying last game. Looking to go Undying game number 2 as well, I'd assume, on this Khepri. That perfect stat line, one of the best I've ever seen while casting. 0-0 and 16 is just absolutely insane. But to start off with the builds, ADCs, same thing. We see the same difference in the support builds. Obviously, there's going to be a difference in the mid lane with one being magical, one being physical. We do see the Sands of Time going into Warlocks for Gibbery and Dolo going into Transcendence with this Death Toll. We do have Echoes going into Bumbas, and then Doom Orb on this Athena, looking to be a speedy lady. And then we do see Hockey go ahead and get the Mana Core spikes very early on this Guan Yu, looking to get the CCs going. That way you can pick up this free damage. Back over in the mid lane, it is a 2v1. Dolo does get to walk away here. Attain Steel is feeling pretty good for Fire and Icy right now, though. Oh, the sash! Just insane. Dolo has to use the ultimate to get out. And now looking to go back in on the Markers, and Windfire Wheels comes out, takes out of some of Dolo's damage. Can Markers get away here? Just very, very low. They're looking for something. Oh my god, Markers is insane. That blink saves the life of Markers. Great play there on the Neja. Absolutely just cracked play. I don't know, dude. What do you do? What do you do? 100% should be dead there and just gets to blink over the wall and live. It's just a crazy play there as Markers did the Windfire Wheels to get out of the damage and take up the Athena, and then gets to walk away. You're feeling pretty good if you're a Neja player and you get out with that much health and just having to waste your blink. I think that feels pretty good as the Eye of the Jungle is online, building into a mace here on that Neja. Dual lane is pretty much centered out. Over in the soul lane, they're doing soul laner things, and that is slapping each other to see who can get top damage. That's pretty much what they do. Back over in duo, though, they are... Kenny and Crimson are getting aggressive again. This lane has been a little bit more, evened out from the last game. I think that has to feel pretty good if you're Dewey Belong. They are backing. I'm actually... Oh, man. Trey stops the back of Crimson. And Crimson not so fortunate to stop the back of J-Bugger. There's no way they just let these waves push each other, right? No way. No way he gives up that farm. Oh, my God. Chat. What is here right now? I will take this moment. These are free experience that you do not let go. And I am unhappy about what I just witnessed. Oh, my God. Get me away from this. I will roast only because I played with them before, and I will roast in this sense. I am sad. Kenny being the cup collector. Sorry, not Kenny. I'm so used to Kenny playing Khepri. It's just in my brain. J-Bugger being the cup collector here on the Khepri and just doing everything he can to get some cups. Dolo looking to get aggressive on this purple buff. Ult over for it as Echoes ulted onto Dolo and just ended up in the mid lane. And now Dolo confirms the purple buff invade for Do We Belong here. That has to feel pretty good. Echoes was on the Oracles there, and now Dolo is the one getting focused out. He doesn't have a way out. Trey puts him down with the Suns. There was just no way to save him. Purple buff invade ends up paying for his life instead. I don't know if that's really worth it, but Hockey now getting out pressure here by Fire and Icy. Fire and Icy now has that Pythagorean's piece online. Great bruiser item here for the Cthulhu. Is going to get some lifesteal online and is going to help out his teammate with some lifesteal as well. Abduct pulls Kenny out of the tower range. And Kenny's really not under any threat now, but Trey puts down Crimson with the help of markers over on the dual lane side. And things have just went bad on this side of the map for Do We Belong, where things started off so well. Now things turning in the favor of NC State Red. Markers 0-0-2 here. Being productive on this Nejaz, setting up Trey. Trey is a little bit ahead on the Devo stacks. Not by much, but a smidge. We'll both have the tier 1 Shuriken here. The supports do go a different route this game. Kenny has decided to go for the Mail of Renewal, while Jay Bugger has decided for a Gauntlet of Thieves. But other than that, we've pretty much standard builds. I'm assuming Fire and Icy is going for this Mana Core Spikes now, while Hockey is most likely going for a Glad Shield. Other than that, nothing crazy. Pretty standard items and relics. We will see, we've had an issue with Do We Belong's carries picking up Beads Aegis, even though the interaction between them is banned. They haven't been using them at the same time, though, so that's fun. That's what matters. But you can't use them at the same time is the one thing we have to watch out for. And Dolo ulting over, looking at this purple buff again, and now NC State Red decides to go ahead and rotate with it. And when he lands, he gets put up in the air by markers. He comes back down, and Kenny survives the question. And he will. Echoes ult onto Kenny Alpha here. Kenny now in trouble, looking to get abducted, gets abducted, takes a tower shot, ends up grabbing markers. Markers now throwing back towards Echo and Dolo, but they're nowhere around to do the damage. They're too far back. Gibbery now pushing out Kenny here. Evens out. Great plays by both teams there as they got aggressive. Really surprised to see Dolo land in front of Markers there. Markers just says, hey, oh, you want to land in front of me? Let me take you back up in the air. Your flight has not landed. Takes him for another ride back up into the sky. But other than that, things are a lot more even than last game. Only a, 700, 600-ish gold difference. Where last game it was drastically higher. And we have not seen any of the objectives pulled yet. Remember, last game, every neutral objective did go in favor of NC State Red. So this is a lot better start here for Do We Belong. A lot more even and just a lot more comfortable for them to play. But they do have to be careful here. NC State Red is starting to be a little bit more aggressive in playing that style they like to do, where they're going to, run at you with a group and then kind of, death ball is not the right word because that's not really what they're doing. They're either getting a pick and capitalizing off that, or they're getting your relics and then to use that in the next fight in ultimates and, keep that on notes. Now Crimson is in a 1v1 with Trey here. Markers is making the rotation over, but stepped over a ward on the way. So Markers will just end up back in here at this purple buff. But so far, very even. All the levels are exactly the same. It's just that slight gold lead in favor of NC State Red. Oh my god, I screwed it up so much earlier. It's in my head now. Other than that, just calm, just lots of farming. And that's a dub. If you're Do We Belong, and you can keep just chunking away at this gold lead slowly but surely, which is what they're doing. They're just taking little bits of farm and capitalizing off of it. I mean, it puts you in a winning position to be able to counteract what they want to do here. But to be fair, if you look at NC State Red's comp, they're not an early game comp. They are playing more for the late game, whereas there are some early components on Do We Belong's comp. But I do think the scaling for both teams is good. I really think it's going to come down to team fights, is who's engaging and who's peeling for Do We Belong. I think that's where this game is going to come down to, is the team fights. How does that work out? Who is the initiator? Who is the peeler? How does that all work out? Right now, Trey is getting collapsed on. Echoes, Dolo, Crimson all here. That's the leap. That's the beads to avoid the taunt. Great pre-beats, but turns around and eats the Medusa ult to the face. But who's on the way? It's Markers. Blink in. Hellfire wheels are out, but doesn't matter. Crimson's going to turn this around. The sash is good, but what's even better, J-Bugger gets the res here. Echo's looking to get aggressive. Great taunt in. Markers put down. And now they're looking for more. Gibbery is the next one on the menu. Can Kenny confirm it? No, but Dolo does. A huge play here for Do We Belong. A 3-4-0 in their favor, and this is what they needed. This is the type of fight they needed. They needed a team fight to go their way. Show how they wanted to play this out with this Atlas and Athena. Now Gold Fury being pulled here by Do We Belong, but they pull it back towards the Khepri. This could be dangerous. Do We Belong does confirm it, but man, J-Bugger did want it. He did want to try to confirm it and tried. Echoes looking to try to see, can they do something to this Khepri? Khepri turns around. Crimson is still playing aggressive here.
We fought our hardest.
Gotta back off. You don't want to get abducted into any type of Hou Yi damage at this point. That could be catastrophic. After getting such a great pull there. A 3-for-0 and a Gold Fury. You know, that slight couple hundred gold down that they were has now spiraled for them into about a 1,200 gold lead. And that feels good if you're Do We Belong. That's a good pull. You finally get a neutral objective. You didn't get any the last game. You get one this game. And that is a dub. That's a massive dub that puts some momentum in your side, gets you some confidence, and that just feels good. But you see level leads in the jungle and the mid lane here as the aggression is happening. I'm assuming the next thing that's going to be looked at here is the Pyro. Markers arriving back over the dual lane. There's the leap in. There's the sash. Crimson taking up into the air is going to fall down and die. This is exactly what happens. And now NC State Red is getting aggressive towards the Pyromancer. Kenny gets a little bit of poke here. Dolo looks to dash in, but Gibbery avoids the dash and turns it around into some great damage. Kenny with a grab there. He turns around. The supports grabbing each other with nothing going on. Oh no, Markers has made the way over the mid. Dolo now in trouble. The Nejad putting in work. Luckily, Echoes gets a great blink in. Counteracts everything Markers wanted to do there. And then the Scarab's Blessing does confirm and save his life. Gibbery now on the move away. Great route here by J-Bugger. Echoes and Kenny are just chilling in the mid lane. Can they make something happen? Hockey has made the rotation over. They're looking for something, but can they get anything? Great blink in by Hockey. Can he confirm the kill? There's the horse. There's the stun, but it's not going to be enough. Dolo Oats in under the tier 2 tower. They will confirm Gibbery, but in what cost? Hockey is low. There's the Suns. Hockey will fall, and all because they wanted to dive a Toth at a tier 2 tower. Now, what's going to happen here? Who capitalizes off this? This is a 1-for-1 trade, but I think this might be in favor of NC State Red, as it does open up a Pyromancer pool if they can convince themselves to go over here. Dolo fighting at the Phoenix in tier 2, playing super aggressive here against Trey, and now is this going to be focused out? Fire and Icy's here. Trey is here. J-Bugger was on the way. They push him into a wall and take him down. Crimson looking to get the tier 1 tower and left. And look at this. While they're at it, Kenny and Echoes are rotating over here on the right side, looking to get some cups, looking to get a Scorpion and just take some of the farm themselves. But unfortunate circumstance there for Do We Belong, just playing a bit too aggressive, and now the favor is in back on NC State Red's side, and because they got a tier 1 tower and left. I mean, they just open it up. They take this awkward fight at the tier 2. They dive the tier 2, and then you dive the Phoenix with tier 1 and tier 2 up, and NC State Red says, okay, thanks for a free kill. They're able to turn it around. Great plays by them, because it was the first time Do We Belong finally had a lead in these 2 games and was really doing a good job at how they worked into that lead. And I was thinking they might be able to maintain it. Now Crimson at a deficit here to the Hou Yi. Trey doing work again, 4-1-1 this time. Again, the support, J-Bugger, has gone undying in this set. Huge play on the support here. I feel like supports get outshined often, and it's not Not going to happen today. I'm going to highlight the play of J-Bugger on the Emoji and Kepri this far. Just popping off. Really, you know, saying we're in playoffs for a reason. Kenny looking to try to steal away that Scorpion. What unfortunately wasn't successful. Now Pyromancer is being looked at here. Dolo is around. J-Bugger's just walking around saying, hey guys, you want to step up here? If you do, I'll show you something cool. Both the ADCs, decide to go Shadow Steel Shuriken first again instead of the Wind Demon. We do see Kenny with that Mail Renewal into the Heart Ward. And J-Bugger again going for this Prid one. We do see an earlier Mirrodin here for Gibbery, so that's interesting. A little bit later in the game last time. But Dolo picks up the Executioner into the Aussie. It's going to be feeling pretty good on this Apollo. Going to do a lot of damage. Got to get that lifesteal going. Attack speeds up. Really just a good power spike going on. Echo looking to get another Mana Core spikes online for Do We Belong, as you do have the Fabulous Hoops online for Hockey now, looking to pump out not just the damage, but get some healing going as well, as Do We Belong will now pull the Pyromancer for absolutely free, but in doing so, give up an Oni Fury, and I don't think that's what you want to give up at this point of the game. Oni Fury holds a little bit more worth with those minions and the gold that you're going to get from it. Dolo tried to rotate over and make it, but couldn't. There's the Atlas laser fire across the map. Dolo dives into 4. And now here comes Echoes. They're looking to turn this fight around. Crimson gets a great ult onto J-Bugger. But is it going to be enough to confirm anything? Markers gets the Scarab's Blessing onto him. He's able to walk away. Great cleanse there. And NC State Red just says, hey, you can have the Pyromancer. We're going to take the upgraded minions and the gold, and we're going to walk away and do that confidently. Fire and Icy still hasn't finished anything with this Tier 1 Mana Core Spikes type item. Goes in the Breastplate and the Heart Ward here. This is where things are going to get curious. We do see Markers has Jotuns, has Brawlers, has Titan Banes. Is putting out a ton of damage on this Neja. Building into an Erendite. Wants to chase down as well. And this game is starting to slowly but surely spin in the way of NC State Red. You know, they're getting objectives. They're getting, or at least splitting objectives. They're getting good fights. They're able to turn it around. We do see a Soul Gem now online for this Toth. And I think we're at the point of the game where we're going to start seeing a Fire Giant dance happen, or possibly, look for a pick and then just go to Fire. These Oni waves are pushing hard. Oni waves on the Tier 2 in right. They've been cleared in mid. They've been cleared in left. But Do We Belong has to be careful here. If they drop any sort of kill that goes in their way, if any of them die, it's going to be an immediate pull towards Fire, if I had to guess, unless they see someone else that's low. NC State Red is not the type to sit around and watch the game happen around them, and they are wanting to get aggressive. Do you see Kenny with another Spectral here, going to be feeling pretty good into these carries. We see the Mana Core Spikes is online for Echo now. Echo 1-0-2 on this Athena, feeling pretty good. Dolo going into a kin size now on this Apollo. Just looking to shred down Fire and Icy when the Scent into Madness happens. Looking to shred down J-Bugger on this Kepri. And will do so with this type of build. Just that Hell Shred's going to be feeling pretty good at this point into the game. They do need to be careful here. Crimson's in the left side. If, a pick happens in this fight, I'm not sure Do We Belong can stop them from pulling Fire. There's the root by J-Bugger onto Dolo. Nothing's going to follow off that, so that's pretty good. Do We Belong is chilling back here. Markers and Fire and Icy have went over on the right side to invade the blue buff. Dolo is making the rotation over. Echoes ult in too. They're trying to do something. Fire and Icy goes into Scent into Madness. Markers is in trouble. Markers will fall. 4-man rotation here for Do We Belong. They have the numbers. Are they going to continue the fight? The answer is no. J-Bugger and Gibbery were on the way, but now it's just J-Bugger. Echoes trying to run down the Kepri. But can you do enough damage is the question. I think the answer is no. Echo's now in trouble here. This Toth can rotate over and cause an absolute havoc. for Do We Belong. Instead, they get a good grab on him. Kenny getting him thrown out, and Crimson gets the solo kill on the tray. That's going to feel very, very good if we're Do We Belong. That's 2 for nothing across the map. Fire and Icy, Gibbery, and J-Bugger are looking to fight into the 4 of Dolo, Echo, Kenny, and Hockey. Crimson has back. They're on this Fire side. That's what they're wanting to pull. They want to pull Fire here, and I'm not sure they can. They have this grouping here. Fire and Icy can go ahead and try to fight out over it. Gibbery can do that as well, but these walls, J-Bugger can, hang out around here and try to get a revive off. It's not going to be a free Fire Giant. Hockey ults in, gets the sun on a Gibbery, but can they confirm anything else off of it? No, there was no follow-up. Instead, Gibbery gets to live for free. And that's unfortunate if you're Hockey. You ult in and there's not anyone near you to be able to follow that up and confirm a kill. The Sash, the Hellfire Wheels, boom, comes down Echoes. That is a kill in favor of NC State Red. Now, Descent to Madness by Fire and Icy is chasing down the members of Do We Belong. The knockups are good. The damage is good, just keeping them slowed down. There's a route onto Hockey. Hockey could be in absolute trouble here. Instead, is going to make it out. I think a sprint was popped there, but guess what? That opens up a Pyromancer pool for NC State Red. Actually kind of surprised to see that they didn't just straight go into Fire Giant there. Hockey did teleport behind them. They know he's there, though. They're going to look for Hockey. And a pause comes through. Let's go ahead and faster forward. We're going to see how this pans out. Ah! Okay. I think it's fine. That's why I hate doing time 16, but, we need to get through it, We just need to be able to get through that. Primal Fury is up. Primal Fury will be looked at here by NC State Red. They are going to pull it, and they're not going to be contested. But the question is do we belong? No. And they do. Do we belong has rotated towards the Fire Giant, and Echoes is ulting in. Instead, they are now just full pulling this, and NC State Red didn't even drop the Primal Fury. Instead, Fire and Icy teleports in, and here it is. They're fighting over the Fire Giant. There's the blink in by markers. It's going to be a 50-50. NC State Red gets the fire. It's stolen away out of the clutches of Do We Belong, and now it's a fight ensuing on the back end of it. Gibbery takes down Dolo, and who will fall next? Can they get anyone else? Great rings there by markers. Kenny in trouble. Hockey in trouble. Crimson also in trouble. Kenny is now fallen. Echoes running out the backside. It's going to have to back at some point. Fire and Icy chasing this down. Wants the kill on the carry. Dives. The Phoenix will confirm it. Hockey looking to turn it around, but Hockey, by doing so, may have put himself into trouble. Hops on the horse. Is going to have to ride down the road to get away. Takes his horse down the Old Town Road and will lose a Phoenix because of it. And now NC State Red just baited the craziest Fire Giant steal and into a just absolute lead that you don't even predict. I mean, this is insane. They make the teleport over. They 50-50 the Fire Giant and pull off a huge fight off the back end of it. They get the Tier 1, the Tier 2, the Phoenix. And now they're going to get a Tier 1, Tier 2 in mid. This game just got blown wide open by NC State Red, and they're smelling victory. Echoes finally backing. And NC State Red's just taking all the towers off the map from the looks of it. I'm not sure if they're going to go for the left Tier 2 or not. It looks like they're just going to go straight from the Gold Fury that they dropped earlier. Primal will now go in their favor. And you're talking about a game that was relatively even to now being almost a 7K deficit for Do We Belong, who had played it so well up until this point. This is just a momentum killer. If you're Do We Belong, they're going to have a discussion and really try to get their head straight for this next fight. Because you don't predict that. You think, oh, hey, they're over at Gold Fury. We can pull it. We have it. We have it. They don't have these global ultimates that we have. They don't have the Apollo. They don't have the Athena. But they do have a teleport. They do have a Neja that you can move pretty quickly across the map. And that's exactly what ends up happening for NC State Red. And, off the back end of that, just really unloading. You know, we see now the Tainted Breastplate with that Pythax Mana Core's Breastplate and the Heart Ward. We see the Erendite finished out going into crit on the Neja. Obshard now online for Gibbery. I mean, these items are all just going to feel good. They're going to make you have a power spike. Crimson gets the, you know, Deathbringer online, gets the Envenom one to try to slow down this damage and slow them literally. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. We see a third Mana Core spikes coming online for Do We Belong, but will they be able to get online? Will it be enough? This is what we worried about, is when it came to team fights, were they going to be able to do what they needed to do with the initiation and peel? In the Fire Giant fight, I think they just got spooked and they got caught off guard. And now there's a fight happening in mid. They're not even they're leaving the Phoenix to take this fight, and I don't know if that's the move. You need this Phoenix. You need it to do the damage for you. Dolo rotating over the left side, trying to fight Trey on this Apollo. And this is what's going to come down. Suns are dropped. Echo now ulting in on the Athena. Trey gets a leap out. Trey 1v2ing, just absolutely going ham here. There's the Aegis out of Echoes, and now they're just getting shredded down. Echoes off the map. 1 for nothing there. After Dolo ulted in that 1v1, wasn't able to confirm the kill. It was a 1v2 for a short amount of time, but it doesn't matter. Fire minions pouring into the base. NC State Red smells blood. They are taking the left side Phoenix. They are looking to try to end this game. They want to go to the next round of the playoffs, and I think they may do so as Hockey falls. The tier 2, or the Phoenix is still under attack. Markers picks up a kill. Crimson falls. Kenny, the only member left on Do We Belong, and we have to say the Titan will fall here. NC State Red secure the next round of the playoffs and take down Do We Belong after a crazy Fire Giant steal to win the game. Absolute insanity. Kenny picks up a kill at the end. That's the only death in 2 games J-Bugger takes, is Kenny grabbing him and killing him with the Titan. J-Bugger MVP, dude. I mean, this goes, literally should have been 0-0 and 24. This absolutely cracked, dude. Oh my god, dude. I just like, what? No shot, bro. What? That Fire Giant steal was insane. I need to go back and clip it. I didn't even clip it because I was just I was in the zone of casting it. I have to restart my game real quick, and then I'll be back on to run games. So, Asmore, if you're in chat, give me 1 second to reboot. Oh my god, dude. No way. I am actually just befuddled. I need to hop into live.
Like Bruiser.
I'm hopping into live. I had to reboot my game because of spectator.
Uh-oh, he's actually joining.
Oh, he was actually joining.
Oh, did you guys get in the game?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He told me to invite you as well.
I'm not. They're trolling me. Oh.
How dare you just join?
Dude, I'm just. Wait, where'd Vio go?
Did Vio leave?
Yeah, I pulled him and then he left.
Maybe
No.
live and then you pulled him and got confused.
I don't know. Where'd Vio go?
Jeez.
He's back in general. Why is he in general?
Oh wait, I gotta press the thing.
Vio, quit trolling me. Dude, I
doing it on purpose.
I don't know, dude. I'm just.
Are you still loading in?
No, I'm in. Did you guys see that Fire Giant steal?
No.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go clip it, dude. That it was. I don't know how they did it, dude.
It says you're still loading in for me.
I'm literally in the game. It says you're in queue for me.
I'm kicking you.
Oh my god, dude. Like, I am mind boggled, bro.
Alright, you're in.
So, NC State Red, pull Primal Fury.
Or do we want to do Conquest?
And Do We Belong runs across, like, runs straight to Fire Giant, right? NC State Red, I think, catches them on a ward, teleports in on the Cthulhu, starts fighting them at fire in a 1v5. The Najok comes in, they 50-50 steal the Fire Giant, and then win the game off of it. They just, like, break the game open. I like, insane. Insane.
I got tier diamond.
Nice, dude. My voice is slightly dead. I am...
Make it alive.
I'm just so confused.
Do we want to do another assault or do we want to do a conquest?
I'll play whatever, man.
I'm looking at